here, and this is my new island, Sudsy Cove. Welcome back to my channel. I'm so happy that you guys are here and I hope that you're all doing well. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to make an iceberg. And this is how the iceberg is going to look in the end. So I got the inspiration to do this build and to make this video from a user on Instagram who made a post about the iceberg. I will leave all of that information in the description down below so you can take a look on Instagram and follow along on their account as well. I started off by building a big cliff here, and actually I don't even know why I did this because I broke into this cliff quite a bit. So even though this video starts off with me doing this, you don't actually have to do this at all. You can just start off with placing the frozen partition that I have here. So you're going to need 4 of these in total, 5 of the pillars, I believe, and I think 6 of the bears. So here all I'm doing is just positioning this properly. So the frozen pillars are 4 ice blocks wide, so I'm just going to position it so that it overlaps by 2 and that they're 6 frozen blocks wide. So this is exactly how you want to start it off, is doing it exactly this way. So as you'll see throughout my video, I break into this cliff quite a bit. So like I was saying, do not create this cliff because it's a waste of time. And then after I break into this here, what I'm going to do is place my first bear. Oh, it's actually called a frozen sculpture. Okay, so the bear is 3 blocks wide. So for the first one on the right hand side, you're going to position it and push it right in behind the partition so that only his bum and 1 block shows. So here I am, I'm just going to break into this cliff and then move him over. And here with the second bear, I'm going to have him actually face the opposite way so that they're facing each other. So it kind of looks like this. And then when I reference the picture, he's actually facing back, like his back is to us with only 1 ice block showing. So that's why I did that adjustment there. So here I'm breaking into the cliff again, and this is where I'm going to place the pillars. So I'm going to place 3 of them here. So I started off with the 1 right in the middle, and I'm going to push this as close to the partition as I can. So if you take a look, it's right in the middle. And then the second frozen pillar is going to go right beside but behind and overlapping just a little bit. And then the third pillar here, as you can see, I want it in the same position but on the right hand side. So I'm just working on placing that pillar, and then I'm going to push it in as close as I can to the bears and to the partition as I can. So the next step is to move to the left-hand side and place the third bear. So he's going to face the one that's on the right and only have 1 ice block sticking out. And this kind of makes the curve of it. And then over here on the right-hand side, I placed the 4th pillar. So technically, when you look at it from a distance, I mean, it looks good here, but when you're done with the build, it's not actually necessary. So that's an option. If you guys want to use it for your build, you definitely can, or it really doesn't have to be there. So right in behind here, I'm placing 4 simple panels that are white. And this is just going to cover up the cliff that you have to build right in behind, because you need the height here so that you can build the top part of the iceberg. So that is what I'm going to work on now, is the top part. So I need 2 more frozen bears, which is what I'm looking for. Or sorry, I'm going to start off with the frozen partitions here. So you need 2 more here, again, overlapping each other. So this is what it looks like when they're not overlapping, and it just looks too square. So now what I'm going to do is just go back and work on positioning this properly. Eventually these 2 bears will face each other, but it's just that partition, that frozen partition, that's what's making it look a little bit too square, as you can see on that right hand side especially. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to work on that, and I'm going to reposition this how we did at the bottom, where they're overlapping so that they're 6 blocks wide rather than 8. So that's what I did there, and that looks so much better. But do you see how that 4th pillar there, it's not really necessary, but at this point I didn't really realize it wasn't necessary, and then I just kept continuing with the build. So here I'm just positioning those bears back. They're going to be facing each other because this is what's going to make the top part of the iceberg. And this is what it looks like so far. So the bears right there, they're not aligned. So I'm going to work on that right here. I'm going to just push him that half a spot, and then they'll be perfectly aligned. And then the last step is to place the last frozen pillar. First I tried it on the ground and it wasn't tall enough. So then I just had to create a cliff and put the pillar on top of the cliff, and then it was perfect. Okay, so this is it. This is how the iceberg is going to look. So now what I'm going to do is just cut into the cliff and cut away all the excess. And then this comes the time-consuming part. We've got to create water because icebergs float on the water. So that's what I'm going to do in the next part of the video. So here, I've done that. I've waterscaped all around it. And now what I'm going to work on is a little boat. So it looks like we are on like a boat and the boat is going by, and that's where we see the iceberg. So I'm going to use the simple panels here, the white ones. I only had 3 of them left. So that's why it kind of looks like this. And then I just used 4 brown ones. So I used 7 in total. If you want to make this as a bigger build, you definitely can. The user on Instagram actually made 3 icebergs and then had this like huge long boat, but I just didn't have enough stuff. Like I didn't have enough material to make so many frozen items. So I just wanted to show you guys how to make one. So if you decide to do this on your island, you can make 1 or you can make 3 or how many ever you want. All right, so this is the boat here. And now what I'm using is just a custom design that looks like a boat floor. This is not an actual boat floor. This is just what I had. So this is just what I used. I'm like, you know what? This looks like the floor of a boat. So why not? And then I had these blue chairs. So these represent the chairs in like the ferry boat. So I'm just placing 4 of these here, and then we can take a look at what it looks like if we were actually on a boat and floating by this particular iceberg. So this is what it looks like on our boat. And then I was like, you can barely see it. So what I did is I shifted everything over by 2. So it gives a little bit more of a perspective. So it did cut down the boat, but it's such a better perspective view. And then I time traveled to December to see what this looks like in the snow, and this looks amazing. But imagine if I had more simple panels and was able to extend this boat on the left and right hand side so you wouldn't see any of the floor. This would literally look like you're on a boat floating by, and then this iceberg comes and floats by you. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you would use this on your island. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, I would love for you guys to leave a like on the video because it does definitely help me a lot. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!